Hey guys, before the podcast starts, I just wanted to know that I had a little bit of problem with Martavious's audio. It's still good. Most of the time it's really clear, but there might be some times where it's a little wonky, but it's gonna be fine. But anyways, enjoy the podcast. The most awkward part is doing the introduction. It's just so awkward, bro. That's all right. All right. So you ready? You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, everybody? With my boy Tay.
It's Martavious, but
okay. Martavious
people
Ross
call
is
me
full name.
people call me Tay for short because
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
name seems to be difficult to pronounce. So
Which I
just
don't.
give somebody a shortcut. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna call him Tay because that's how I know him more. But I want to start off by saying, I feel like me and you, we have a unique friendship. I don't know if you feel the same way, but like, because we don't hang out
Yeah,
outside. We don't hang out outside of work, right, or
yeah. It's
school.
kind of we did, but it was kind of not weird, but it was just something that you didn't expect. I
Yeah.
didn't expect a friendship because we worked at the same spot, so it's
Yeah.
like.
I got used to that.
I didn't like. What I'm saying is like I wasn't going in there looking for friends because I already had the people that I known like that we worked with, and I already knew who they were, and I was just like, well, my coworkers, some little or whatever you want to call it towards them. So
Yeah.
cool with everybody, but it's just like I'm not gonna get into the situation as far as like everything, but it's just
Well,
one in particular situation with our last job that made me realize like.
yeah. Let me clarify. Me and Tay know each other from work, right?
From
We
work
met each other we
at a
worked at
job.
a
We never seen
caregiving
each other
business.
ever besides in
Yeah.
there.
But then, like, see, I have like a small like group of friends, right? And it's weird because most of my friends know each other, but nobody knows you, and so it's like weird. But like since our working our last job and this job, and like since we were talking more, like I feel like you're someone that I really respect, and so that's I appreciate that about you, right? You're always like especially with our last job, like no matter what, you're always gonna stand for what you believe in, no matter what. And I feel like I have that in common too. That's why I respect the hell out of you for that.
Yeah,
But
like I was saying, I just respect you from can't get into detail about what happened, but just like the last situation that happened with our other job. I mean, we still work at the same job now at a different. I'm at a different
yeah, yeah,
place, but
we work at a hospital.
the other job that we were at is just like I said, it's more so. I'll say the respect came in from. I mean, even before that situation, I just seen like. I mean, out of everybody in there, like both of us would do our job, like how it's supposed to, be done. We'll
Yeah,
handle everything as calmly as possible, even though it was challenging at times, and just the
hmm
ins and outs. But just like I said, one situation happened, and it was a situation that was real critical, and it could honestly ruin my life. But people probably don't see it that way because they just look at it like, oh, well, it's just this and it's that. But when stuff like that happens, like it's crazy, and it could have ruined my life because possibly being a kid do. So that's
yeah,
after when that situation came about, he could have sold his soul. And what I mean by this is that he could have just switched on everybody like the others did, but he didn't. Um, he wasn't even in the best position financially, and he was like, nah, I don't want to work here no more. He could have went back. He could have done whatever, but at the
yeah,
end of the
yeah,
day, it was like what was going on in there was more valuable and important than what he had going on in his life because like I said, like how I look at the situations, we saved somebody's life. Like literally, that's what all three of us did. It's another person too. Like I said, I'm not gonna name
yeah,
drop, but we all three of us saved a person's life. And that's why I say I can respect everybody who was involved in
yeah, yeah.
taking part in that because without us three, it's like it's a lot of stuff that could have put us in jeopardy. We could have been in a terrible situation. But like I said,
Honestly, yeah,
from that job, like when you look at it, like I said, I wasn't going in looking to meet anybody or anything like that. And it's people over there, that came in there that got hired that I was really cool with too. Like I don't got no
Yeah.
problem. It's just I don't got no problem with anybody. It's just what happened. I just can't respect it and trust is broken. But like I said,
Yeah.
he could have sold his soul, but he didn't, and that's what I
But
respect. 'Cause he could have
going off
easily.
that, what I know now, obviously we didn't know back then or now, but like now it makes you realize how, like, let me give an example. So working at that job, we were always like under stress and like we're always like kind of talked down to and
The
stuff. And
depression.
then yes, and then this job like I went into this job. There's multiple times I was scared. Like anytime the boss would come to me, I'd be like, I'm about to get yelled at for no reason. You know what I mean? And then I remember one time, right? I mean, it was when you got hired at the job. Remember, like the boss pulled me into like one of the rooms to talk to us. I thought I thought I was gonna get fired, bro. But like, and it just feels good to be appreciated. You know, it's like it makes you. It just feels good, bro.
You're a hard worker, but it's just hearing it. Sometimes hearing it is that'll get you that'll give you that extra feel, that boost, because you're not used to somebody telling you, "Oh, I appreciate the work you do, and I appreciate you as a person."
Yes.
You're not used to hearing that. You're used to hearing like you could do
You,
more, and
you
negative
suck.
versus positives and stuff, and like someone trying to just completely strip you from your pride and strip you from all your
Yeah.
achievements and your work ethic. Like we don't have that over at
Yeah.
where we're at right now. It's more so
Yeah.
everybody we're respect. So I look at it, we're respected, really, really respected more than what people think.
Oh yeah.
That's how I look at it. Like I mean, people really,
We're doing the job
truly,
nobody else wants to do.
truly, yeah, truly respect us, and the job isn't hard. It's really therapeutic to me, but
Facts. Yeah.
just,
Well.
just that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like I said.
I'm gonna change subject a little bit because I don't want to bag on our old job the whole time
No,
because
it's not bagging.
actually
It's not
I,
bagging.
I
It's just telling the truth.
I'm gonna leave it off with saying I learned a lot. That's
Yeah,
how I'm gonna leave that.
you live and you learn. I wouldn't call it bagging though, because
Yeah.
we didn't even touch on anything. We just touched on
That's
how we felt.
facts.
That's all.
Yeah. So I feel like one of the things that we have in common, right, is like growing up, like we weren't like obviously I don't know all your
Poverty,
upbringing
poverty.
exactly, bro. Always broke and then dealing with hard times, but something we have in common that I don't have in common with anybody else is that like you also lost your father, right? And so
Oh yeah.
I wanna know your perspective on uh how that changes your life. Before we do that, like I want to explain. A lot of people like they think they know what you feel like. I've heard it so many times. Like, oh, I know what you're feeling. Like I look at my mom, dad, whatever, and think about losing them, and I always tell them like, look, I understand that, but you have no idea what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I want your perspective on how it changes your life.
Well, I'm gonna say this as far as like people telling you what I learned is that I learned to stop telling people how to feel, because
Yeah.
people feel differently, they experience differently. Um, when I lost my stepfather, it was like that's my sister's biological father, but he was someone who raised me and really treated me like I was his own. It wasn't
Mhm.
about a step anything. He wasn't a stepson. I didn't hear a
Yeah.
step nothing. I heard just my son in general. So it was almost,
Mhm.
to make me believe, not to make me believe, but it was believable that he was my biological father. But I found out
Yeah.
later he wasn't. But it's still I treated him like that because of the
That's still your
obviously
father. Yeah.
respect. Yeah, he's still my father. The respect I have for him and stuff like that. But when I lost him, it was uh I felt empty because
Mhm.
um what can I say? Um going like because him and my mom got a divorce or whatever, and like when they got the divorce, it was just tough times. Like they were fighting, and I had to choose a
Yeah.
side. I'm 9 years old or 9 years old, and being
It's
that
tough.
young, I don't know anything. But as I got
Yeah.
older, I figured out everything, and I could say like I tell myself, if we didn't hash everything out before he passed away, I feel like shit because I didn't know
Yeah.
anything, and it would be this terrible feeling that I have in my stomach, just knowing like he passed with us with was passed with so much weight on the table as far as like between us when we could have just talked it out as men, but we did do that. So
Yeah.
that made me
Good.
feel way better
Well, better. Not yeah.
because
Better.
it was stupid on my part anyways. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was more so like owning up to holding myself accountable, and I held myself accountable. So that's what it
Yeah, of
that's
course.
what it was. But I feel like when you lose somebody, it's not even just a parent. When you lose, I lost friends before. Like it's when you lose
Mm-hmm.
people that you're close to, is that it doesn't feel good, and it'll never feel
No,
good. I don't feel
no.
like death is something that you could get over at all.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
I'm
see
learning that.
I
Yeah.
don't see a person getting over death. I see a person dealing with death differently. Like as far
Yes.
as like understanding like that person's in a better place, but
Yeah.
just trying to keep their spirits uplifted. But when you see pictures, obituaries, you see videos, that feeling
Yeah.
is gonna come back. Like I don't care who you are,
You do.
you're gonna have those days where you feel like, dang, I wish that person was here with me right now, because they'll
Yeah.
give me this best advice and all that stuff. Like
Exactly.
it's like, and even like touching back on like the last situation, like if he was here, he would have told me to do something that it is just that's how he was. Like he was, he would have told me like to go
Mm-hmm.
retaliate, basically, in a sense. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that's the thing. It's like I'm glad that didn't happen, but
Uh huh.
just learning. Um,
For.
I never really, I can't say just learning how to deal with death, but just taking it, you know, s- uh, each day, just taking it in and just understanding like
That's been my motto for like the last
um
6 months. Is one day at a
not
time.
that's been my motto for the last 9 years. Just like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just what it is. Like
Yeah.
it's something I have to live with. So
So I came
uh,
to I came to a realization literally yesterday, right? I think I told one friend, maybe two friends, this that like my father dying. Like I realized this yesterday. Literally saved my life. Like I feel like I'm gonna explain it, but like I feel like in some type of way, like he kind of like sacrificed his. Well, he did sacrifice his life for all of us, but like so. Let me explain. Like I was going to school right at the time for something I knew like deep down I didn't really want to do, but I was just doing it. I was working a dead end job that was kind of ruining my life, like, and then like I was at the time I didn't know, but I had so much like anxiety and depression, like, and like I had friends in my life that maybe I shouldn't have and stuff. And then when he died, like I ended up leaving the job, and then I started following a career path that I actually want to do, that I'm currently trying to do right now. And then just like everything changed, my mindset, everything about me has changed. I feel like, and it forces you to grow up.
yeah,
And
yeah, it does. It just you just
yeah,
hit with this experience is different.
yeah,
That's how I look at it. It just opens your eyes a little more. That's mainly what it
yeah.
is.
Not to get me wrong, it's still hard to this day, and it's
Yeah,
probably
it
always gonna
is.
be hard.
Yeah,
And like, because it hasn't even been a year, right? And actually, next month is going to be a year, and it's going to be hard as fuck. But I like I said, just one day at a time, and like, and also this brings me to the next point is like I said, we both like know like how easily shit could go down quick, right? Go downhill and stay there for a while. So I was wondering for you, like, what motivates you to keep pushing, like even when like everything is falling apart.
my past,
Mm-hmm.
my passive struggling, not having anything. Every time like I'm feeling down, I try to find something to really, really uplift myself.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's gaming, whether it's looking at motivational videos, because I know I could drown myself out, meaning that I could take myself into deep waters and drown my mind for with overthinking. That's what I call drowning yourself out,
Yeah.
aka because when I start thinking a lot, it'll tend to lead to overthinking because
Uh-huh.
I'll start thinking about the past and how stuff could be right now, and then I'll
Yeah.
get overwhelmed. So I try not to get that way, even though I do get that way at least once a week.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I get that way almost like every day, and I gotta find my way out of it.
like one thing I understand is that I used to get a little upset with myself when it came to getting down or
Uh
being
huh.
being depressed, I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm learning that it's okay to be like that. What I mean by being that's okay is that when you neglect it, I feel like it's worse. When you acknowledge it, then you understand that you're gonna try to better yourself and get better versus telling yourself like, "Oh, I'm not. I'll be okay," knowing deep down inside you don't feel that way. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have
Yeah.
people ask me when I walk into work, "Oh, how are you doing?" And I'll say, "I'm all right," or "I'm okay, just
Yeah.
okay." I had a lady, ask me, I'm like, "Yeah, just okay," because I'm not gonna hide my emotions. I learned running. You can't run from your emotions. Period. It's
Yeah.
something you cannot do. Like,
That's something I'm really learning these the past couple of weeks.
can't run from your emotions. So if you're feeling a certain way, just do something to try to make yourself feel a little better. And
Yeah.
don't force nothing. Just let it come naturally. It's the best way
Yeah.
possible. Like literally.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
I get into these pockets where I feel like I need to isolate myself from everything and everybody. Even like a couple weeks ago, I deleted like all my social media for a week or two. By the way, that helps a lot. I feel
yeah,
like
I did the
everybody should
same
try
thing.
that.
I did the
But
same thing.
I get into these pockets, then I realize like I can't be this way because it doesn't help me. It doesn't help me grow. It doesn't help me learn. And that I feel like that's the most important thing in life is just learning, right? And so when you're not taking any information or like other people's views or anything, like you're just living in your own bubble, and that's just not okay. I mean, I feel like it's okay to, like sometimes like maybe to try to help yourself get out of it, because when it all comes down to it, the only person who's going to help you be okay or be happy is you, right?
Hmm.
And so that's the only that, I don't know, man. That's something I've been working on, and I'm still working on to this day,
I
like
mean,
Deontay Wilder.
that's that's how it's supposed to be. Honestly, I
Yeah.
just learned, like I said, I just learned that from all the situations, like everything to uplift myself. I'll even write on my whiteboard and what I want to accomplish, my goals. Looking at
Yeah.
that will give me a boost and a smile in the morning, just knowing like, oh, I am close to that amount of money that I want in my savings, or
Yep.
I am close to establishing this and that, or whatever. Like it's just those are the things that help me too. Like
Yeah.
I don't use the past as something bad. I use the past as a guidance because
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is guidance. I always could look
Exactly.
back and understand I was in a worse, tougher situation than I am now. And if I got through that, I really truly believe I could get through what I'm going through right now. So
Yeah.
that's what keeps me going.
I feel like you respect life and like appreciate stuff more. Like, for instance, like we know people like this all around. Like people that have been handed everything in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was never.
Like,
I didn't come from.
no, no, me neither, dog.
I didn't come from. I can't say my whole life was a struggle, but I would say the
Yeah.
most important part of my life was a major struggle. And what I mean by this is that from the time I could know what age I was, till about 8 years old, it was cool. Nothing was
Yeah.
going on. Now from 8 to 24, the age I am now,
Yeah.
it's better, way better now. Obviously, honestly, I mean not obviously, because but
Yeah. Yeah. I get you.
it's way better. Like I mean, I feel like I don't I wouldn't take it away from me because I feel like obviously if I didn't go through those things, I wouldn't be who I am right now. I wouldn't have this wisdom or
Yeah.
anything like that. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise for me, more
Yeah.
so than anything.
I actually asked someone that today. I asked them like, is there like anything in their life they wish they would have done different, and they told me that not really because I wouldn't be the person I.
You wouldn't.
And like I saw that I was like, damn. I was like,
You wouldn't.
that's 100% true. Like it's crazy, man.
It is.
Like
But then again, you think about what you would be like without these things too. You don't know
yeah,
that either.
I
I
don't.
used to tell myself like, "Oh, I'd probably be like everybody else." Probably not.
Yeah,
And we don't know. But what you experience will humble you or it'll break you. And I just chose to let it humble me.
yeah,
Make sure I gain some knowledge and strength from it rather than have it tear me down. That's
yeah.
what it is.
You're already going through hurt. Like might as well get something out of it.
Yeah, I'm getting
Et. That's
something out
et
of it.
right there. That's
Yeah,
et.
getting something out of it versus letting it destroy me.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. That's what it comes down to.
And like one of the thing, like I said, one of the things that helped me like with my father is that like is friends, right? So a lot of you don't realize how bad some people are around you until something like that happens,
Yeah.
And like, and then it also on the other end, it makes you appreciate the people you do have in your life that you know are real. It makes you appreciate them more. Like I said in my last podcast, like now more than ever, I appreciate conversations with people than I've ever done, and or I've ever had. Sorry, but you just there's a lot of stuff you take appreciation from when stuff like that happens.
Yeah,
And
that isn't easy.
no,
It'll never be easy.
no,
Ever, it don't matter who it is. It'll never be easy. So
yeah.
that's what
One
that's
thing. Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off. What were you gonna say?
that's one thing. Another thing that I was gonna say is someone shouldn't don't ever let somebody tell you to get over, like, you need to get over someone passing. I feel like if someone is to tell you that is disrespectful and that you should, take not action but just understand, like,
They don't know what they're
they
talking
don't know
about.
what they're talking about, because you can't tell somebody to get over death. I feel like
Yeah,
that's really disrespectful, like, to the fullest form possible, because you got somebody who means the world to you, and they're, obviously in heaven now, but this person
yeah.
next to you to your right is telling you,
Get
oh,
over
get
it.
over it, they're in a better spot. There's no getting over that at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
No, there's no getting over it. So
Not at all, dog.
I mean,
Not at all. So, something I ask everybody nowadays because I want to get different views on is, uh, like, what do you think? Like, what is your vision of success, like for your future?
for my future right now, as far as what I could come up with, um honestly, having enough money in my savings just in case something happens. For example, like a pandemic, we no one in this world expected this stuff to happen, and people went
Hell
broke, and
no.
people went homeless and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
More so
bad.
me setting my kids up for success. Like,
Yeah,
what I mean by setting them up is that saving, making an account for them, putting money into it, stuff that I didn't have, like stuff that I needed when I got to my senior year of high school, and I was, broke or whatever, and I couldn't turn to nobody. I had to go to, a JC, and not that that's bad, but just create a better opportunity for them than I had,
yeah,
because I
yeah,
feel like it's gonna help them out more. Another thing for like future references, like owning a house, owning a car, basically owning a business in a sense, like having property. Those are things that I want to do because I want to make sure my family for generations are set.
yeah.
I don't want nobody to
I feel that.
struggle or go through what I went through. I would never. I don't care who you are. I wouldn't want nobody to go through the path that I went through
Yeah,
to get to where I'm at. Because it's hurtful, and you sometimes you want to tap out, but you gotta just keep going.
I feel that, bro. I feel
I'm
that.
not gonna sit up here and lie and act like I didn't want to quit, because I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Oh,
quit so many times. I didn't want to
almost.
do a lot
Yeah.
of stuff.
Shit, almost like
Miserable
every
and
day.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
miserable. That's what it is. Just in a depression.
Yeah.
So the littlest things bother you too. It don't matter. It could be the littlest thing, and you'll just get back into that deep hole.
Yes, bro.
So I
Hundred
just,
percent.
so I mean, that's what I
Yeah.
learned from it.
Shoot. I feel all that, bro. I'm pretty much the same way. Like, there's almost every day, like, I just want to be like, all right, I'm done, bro. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing happening. I just want to give up. And then, like, I feel like, what's the point?
I feel
Like,
like
cause
with me right now, not to cut
yeah.
you off, it's just
Okay.
patience.
Yes.
Very impatient right now
Yeah.
because I'm so anxious about what I want.
And we have to stay
And
in the house all damn day.
And I mean, I enjoy it. I play the game. I don't have no problem with it. I listen to my music and stuff. It's more
Yeah,
so
yeah.
just I do want my apartment right now. I do want, to,
Oh yeah.
have a girlfriend and start a family 4 years from now
Yep.
or so like that. But that's more so what I'm anxious about. But being anxious, like, obviously the patience part comes into play, because I'm not really so. I'm still working on patience. Still working on it. Just still,
Yeah.
chopping down at it.
It's hard, man.
It's hard. It's one of the hardest traits I feel like ever.
Yeah.
because
But sometimes you're forced to be patient. There's no
you are.
option.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You really
I
are
feel
forced
like
to be
that's
patient.
where I'm at right now. Like I want to start my career stuff, but like I can't because I'm going to school and that might be postponed because of everything that's going on and like
Coronavirus.
and then I only work the weekends, bro. So I'm just sitting in the house thinking of ways to be at peace with my like own mind and still trying to better myself and even try to better like my friend because I care about a lot of people, right? And like I think about them all the time and I'm thinking of ways maybe I can help them better themselves and I feel like sometimes that's like a flaw of my like I'm thinking about other people like too much, you know what I mean, and not worried about myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I also like lately. I've realized like I gotta be. That sounds selfish as hell, but like I gotta be more focused on me because a lot of people they don't feel the same way as me. Like I view friendship differently, and so a lot of the times for me it's always like a one-way street, a friendship. You know what I mean? And then like lately I realized like I gotta stop that. You know what I mean? I said it.
That's
Yeah,
God. That's God speaking. I'll look at it.
yeah, yeah. But we live in crazy times right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
this coronavirus. Like speaking of the topic,
Yeah.
it was a blessing in disguise for me. I say that because I was working two jobs. I finally
Yeah.
quit the other one, so I only have
Oh,
one.
nice. I didn't know that.
And like so like the Monday and Tuesday I would be working. Between that is be a total of what 24 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 hours, and
And
it
then
was
80
tough.
at the new job.
It was tough.
Grinding, man. I
Like
respect that about you.
like it's tough working both of those jobs every week, and I mean I'm getting paid weekly for one of them, but it's tough on my mind and it's tough on everything else, and just
Yeah.
kind of with this job right now that we have, like the hospital job is really, really, really good. Probably one of the biggest blessings, like I said, because I was stressing a lot after what happened. But
Yeah, man. I was glad you were like. I was glad to be able to help out with that, bro.
yeah, I
And
mean, I appreciate that because the job that I did have, I didn't. I just it's it's a lot,
yeah,
like
man.
going into being a caregiver.
Just say I know.
It's just tough.
Caregiving is. This sounds selfish, but it's not that rewarding when you have terrible, people above you. You know what I mean? When it's
Yeah,
terrible.
it's not
Yeah.
it's not at all when you have people who just see you as like
And that's not
they
singling
don't
any
value
job out.
they don't
That's
value
that's all.
they
That's all
don't
caregiving.
when they don't value your life or whatever, value what you do for them.
Yeah.
That's why it goes back to saying, like, you got a lot of these people too, when it comes to caretaking, like they see your work ethic and they take advantage of you rather than trying to learn. Because believe it
Oh
or not,
yes.
you could be a boss, but you don't know everything. You can learn so much more, and
Yeah, bro.
people are afraid of someone being under them, telling them something. They're fearful. I
Yeah.
always told people, people fear me because I feel like it because I'm outspoken. They know
Yeah.
that when it comes down to it, I'm gonna keep it 100 no matter what.
Oh
And
yeah, 100%.
some people don't understand. They don't want to understand and believe that. So
Yeah.
they tend to get in this bubble like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to so and so because I know Tay is gonna tell me how it is, and I don't want to hear how it is. I want somebody to, baby me and do all this stuff, and I'm not that dude.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm
You
gonna
ain't.
tell you how it is, bro. 'Cause,
You're not a yes man.
yeah, I feel like that's the best way for somebody to learn. I can't
Yeah,
keep
100%.
having, if you're my friend and I know that you're going down a path of failure or something like
Yeah.
that, and it's just totally wrong, then I'm gonna step
Yeah.
in and try to help you out.
That's real friendship, man.
Failure isn't a bad thing either.
No, it's not.
Failure leads to success. People look at failure like it's something bad. You have to
Yeah.
fail to learn. So in order for you to get success, failure comes with it
That's true, man.
always. So that's
I
one thing.
felt.
That's one thing I really take
I felt
pride
this. I felt the same. I felt the same two math classes before I passed it for the third time.
in. Exactly. Yeah, everybody has failed at something before, and
Yeah.
it's gotten you to the place that it's gotten you to.
Yeah.
Everybody's struggle is different, really different.
Yeah. It really is, dog. But
Speaking of
oh,
poverty,
go ahead.
like
Go ahead, dog.
how would you say um how was it being around people who how was it being around wealth as far as your friends and knowing where you come from? How did you take in all of that, knowing that what they're getting is something you've never gotten in your life? Like how
Uh,
did you deal with that growing? And even now, I'm not. It's still happening now. I'm sure. Like how do you deal with it?
well, to be honest, like I said earlier, I don't have many friends. So, and most of my friends, they're not wealthy at all either. Because obviously, like, I'm living in a city that's it's not really wealthy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I do know growing up, right? I remember this is when I lived in Nevada. I did have a wealthy friend, right? They'd buy me everything, bro, and like it makes you like their life is different than yours, but it makes you want to get to that level where like I need to get like this to where I could be able to afford anything I want. And I feel like it gives you a little bit of motivation. But there are some people I take that back. We do know some people that have wealth. And it's kind of like the idea like they get handed everything to them, right? And it's like you kind of don't respect those people as much. You know what I mean? Like that sounds really bad, but it's hard to respect someone that is has given everything, and then I feel like they're not in the connection with the world. I feel like people like me and you, like I feel like we have more of a like is it weird to say, but like a bond the with just life. You know what I mean? Because you don't really know what life is until you have to struggle. Like if you're handed everything in life, if you're given a car, you don't even have to work a job, and like what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's
But
just weird.
some people who have had it all, growing up, they understand still. They don't let that stuff trick them down.
That's true.
They
Yeah.
still get it. I've met people who, are really wealthy and they still take pride in that. Hey, this didn't have to happen. I got a friend who's struggling and my family's doing, better financially than his family or, her family, but I'm not gonna knock the next person down because my family has this and that. Like I've met people like that before too, and I've met people who try to just take a load out on you and just tell you like, oh, well, you should be doing this, and but they don't know what it's like to not have anything, or you wake up
Mhm.
and, for example, you wake up, the lights is off, the cable is off, and
100%. Yeah.
the gas bill hasn't been paid, like, or
Yeah.
you guys got a 30-day notice. Like once it gets that deep,
Yeah. Living in gang territory,
living in
so you can't
poverty,
go. Yeah.
literally
Can't go outside. Yeah.
watching where you go. You gotta be cautious about where you at, and even the time matters. Even what you're wearing.
I
So it's
remember. I remember being young, right? And we lived in San Bernardino, and I remember this. I always think back to this. I remember this gang like they're grouping up and talking about something. Then I watched them go to our old neighbor's house, which is across the street, and just beat the shit out of them. And I was like, man, I can't be here the rest of my life. I got to do something.
San Bernardino is the second. We're one of the second worst cities in California to live in, I believe, or something like that. I just saw
Trust
it
me, I know,
yesterday.
bro.
It's
Yeah, I
terrible.
know. I know. It really is.
It's
And
nothing. It's nothing fun about it.
something I want to ask you because it's really relevant right now. Relevant. That's not a word. Really relevant right now is being black. And so, like, obviously,
Man,
right now, everybody knows there's like all the riots and stuff. And this, and a lot of people don't understand. And I've talked to people that they don't understand. Obviously, I don't understand either. But like, this is gonna sound like the most white person thing ever to say. But like, I've grown up with around black people, and 95% of my friends are black, and I see it. I don't understand it. I don't know what it feels like, but I see it, and it's disgusting.
um,
Even at work, like when Martavious first got hired, literally watched or people called security on us because we were standing outside. That's never happened to me before.
yep,
And as soon as he was there, they called security on us, and then people walk by him and don't say hi.
yep.
It's terrible, and I see it with Daryl and some girls that hang out with their black people look at us and like all interracial stuff. That's nasty. You know what I mean? People, it's real, and people don't understand that. So I want to know like your take, and maybe you can explain to people who don't understand what it's like.
It's disgusting. It feels. When I was younger, I had a lot of rage. So if you were to do something like that, I'd fight you because
Yeah.
it wasn't really no talking because I'd just be disrespected. I still feel disrespected when something like that is to happen, but it's a I feel
Mm-hmm.
like right now as Black Knight right now, but forever Black people are targets to society because they're afraid of what we could do. We're
Yeah.
portrayed to be thugs, whatever you want to call villains and stuff like that, but we're really
Mm-hmm.
not. And they're really intelligent.
Oh yeah.
One
That's
thing
fun.
that people hate is a smart, intelligent Black person, male or
Yeah.
female. It doesn't matter. I'm not just gonna say Black men because women are dealing with some of the same things that men are dealing with. Being Black,
hundred
like I
percent.
said, in general, is difficult. Like you're
Yeah.
saying, yeah, I could walk by somebody and say hello, and they'll just look at me, not say anything. But the next person they walk by, they're not Black or anything like that. They'll speak to them and even try to
Yeah.
engage into a conversation, a deeper conversation. But I started to understand like I don't feel down about it. I just take it for what it is because it's something I've been
Yeah.
dealing with all my life. Even walking up the street, me and my brother used to walk to school because we didn't have no ride to school. That was our way to get to school was our legs. We had to do what we
Yeah.
had to do. So I'm walking up the street with my brother. We're getting called the N word and getting called all these racial slurs. Monkeys and roaches, all that, all whatever, all that stuff is racist. Like we're getting called
Mm-hmm.
it. We don't know these people. They're hanging out their windows. People, even people, um, I could say what banging their set on us. And hanging out the windows and stuff like that. And it's annoying. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I've been in stores before. I've been followed. And mind you, I've been going to this store forever, and I'm being followed by one of the store employees because he thinks I'm about to steal something or whatever.
Uh
It's
huh.
annoying, because it shouldn't be that way at all. It shouldn't be that way in
I mean,
general.
I have a. I'm not gonna say his name, but when I say he's gonna know who I'm talking to or where they work, but I have a friend that works somewhere, and they said, "Hey, if someone fits the profile, you follow them. Make sure they're not stealing." And I think we all know exactly what that means.
Yeah, we could even go touch on this too. Like I tell my friends, um, when logically speaking, when you look at the word, I told myself this: when you look at the word ghetto in America, it's more so towards Black people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over, I know Hitler used it for the Jews, but we're not talking about Germany. When you
No.
go to America and you
So
hear the word
America.
ghetto, that's a term
Yeah.
used for the Blacks, and I don't care. I'm willing to argue with anybody because anytime I hear somebody and it's a group of Black people saying something, oh, that's ghetto.
Yeah.
It's ghetto until they steal it too. Our
Yeah.
culture is being stolen, has been stolen forever.
Yes.
Um, Everything we do is a problem. Like I said, the color of our skin bothers people for whatever reason,
I don't understand it, man.
and it's hard to sit up here and explain because it's like you're not bothering nobody. Hell, I'm not racist. I appreciate everybody in this world.
Yeah.
But to sit up here and constantly be singled out as
Yeah.
race that's full of negative or bad people is crazy. Don't get me wrong. I have people who I've been around who tell me, "Oh, I mean, I don't date Black women because they're loud," and I get on them. I got on them too. Want to know why? Because that's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's very disrespectful for somebody to sit up here and say they don't date Black women because they're ghetto and loud. That's stupid.
That's
That's
crazy,
very
bro.
stupid. You got Black men doing it, and that's even worse. You got your own
Yeah.
kind doing it. Like I said, I've
Yeah.
experienced so much, and it got to the point to where this man has said that, but the Black women that I'm around or whatever, they're looking at me funny because they think that that's what I'm on, and I'm not on that. I've already
Yeah.
know that with them not knowing that I done already told this dude that that's not right, but I can understand where it's like the guilty by association stuff, where it plays in their head because they're like, well, why is he still hanging out with this dude if he said this about Black women? So more so
Yeah.
me, I pay attention to the people who are speaking about stuff like that because it's
So
it's important.
it's just there has to be some level of hatred involved, bro.
It's
It's like
it's it's,
it's so nasty.
I'm gonna tell
But
you.
how I don't understand how I don't understand how someone could look at another person and especially someone you don't know and just wish like bad on them or even kill them. First of all, how do you even kill a person? And then especially do it just because of the color of their skin. It's nasty, right? And this is coming from someone who has a degree in criminal justice and has studied it for years and years. Which is one of the reasons why I got out of this shit. Is it's so flawed. It's broken. It's a broken system. I think a lot of people have disagreed with me, but I think some of the parts of the Constitution is broken. The flag it doesn't mean much as it used to. I hate when we talk about race and people try to discredit anything that like the Black Lives Matter movement is saying just for saying, oh, they disrespect the flag. Like that tells me 100% that you're racist, because that's not what it's not about the flag.
It was never about a flag.
No, they respected people who go in the military.
I'm gonna give credit to Colin Kaepernick because he wasn't
100%.
He wasn't kneeling to disrespect the flag. He was kneeling for the justice of black people being murdered. That's what he was kneeling for. People just turned it into whatever. Like I said, they hate black people. They turned it into this persona of, oh, well, he's disrespecting this and that. Okay, well, if we're talking facts here, I mean, this land was never, it was stolen.
Right, bro. Right.
So are we going to talk about, that, or are we going to sit up here and just make up stuff? Because with the Black Lives Matter movement, we never said no one else's lives matter. We never, ever said that once. What we said was our lives matter. It's plain and simple. You have a problem with it because I seen something the other day. It said you have a problem with it because it says black in front of it. And that's the most truest thing I've seen, because it's really, really true. You only care because it says black in front of it. If it didn't say black in front of it, then no one would care. But since it's Black Lives Matter, they think that we're only talking about ourselves, and we are not. We never were talking about that. So like I said, you see how hard or you don't see, but if you're a black man, as far as, or even a black person in general, it's difficult, very difficult. It's not something that's easy. Like I said, I've been followed, everything, man. Like it's not something that I don't wish it on anybody. On anybody. I don't want nobody to go through this stuff. When I see the police, I like, when I'm driving, for example, I like to blast my music because I like to feel the music. And when I see a police, I crank my music down. Why? Because I'm not trying to get pulled over for something that's stupid. And I'm not trying to get pulled over in general. I don't want to talk to the police or anything like that. Because to me talking to the police is, my life is at risk. Because it's people
100%.
dying for nothing. So if I'm talking to them, it's not helping me. So the less interaction with the police is best for me.
Yes. So what is one thing you think, not that it's ever going to, hopefully it does one day be resolved, but what is one thing you think that would help, like, with the situation? What can people do
with being murdered? Police,
like I'll give you my basically so my opinion, I believe the police should be licensed just like doctors and stuff, and so as soon as they fuck up, they lose their license and they can't ever work that again. And there's so many, I feel like there's so many laws that need to be changed. I don't understand how a person could be in jail for weed and like have life, and then somebody who's raped 30 children could be in for like 8 years.
Look at Brock Turner. He raped somebody and got 6 months in jail at his university.
It's ridiculous.
He raped a couple people, I believe, and got 6 months in jail. You got people who I know, they get a weed charge and they get 10, 15 years.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I mean? It's a setup for us. I told my friends, the moment we're born, we're set up into this world. And they don't want to see us succeed. It's more so they want to see us fail. That's what they want to see. The moment we're born, you're born, as a black person, they want to see you fail. That's what it is. They want to make sure that you're as limited as possible. And I've learned that the hard way. Just look at it. I broke this down too to my friends. I have a brother who works at a warehouse, right? That's one of the easiest jobs to get hired, and I could apply for one and be hired the next week or the next day. Want to know why no one wants to do that work like that? 2, it's a lot. It's heavily diverse in there. Another one is retail. I have another friend. He's a manager at Finish Line.
Yeah.
As a black man, or black people, we like shoes, we like, we like all that stuff, clothes and stuff.
Yes.
They understand that, so it's easier to
Yeah.
get those jobs. You want to get a
Yeah.
job to become a tech, a doctor, it's harder. I know it's harder for a
Yeah.
black person. I know it is.
100%.
10 times
100%.
harder. You're gonna get judged,
And,
like I said, all the time. Um,
and women too, by the way.
yeah, it's gonna be very difficult. Really, if you're black in general, it's difficult no matter what it is. But these
Yeah.
little jobs that are easy to get, even fast food, they're gonna throw those jobs at you because they
Oh
don't give
yeah.
a damn about those jobs. They're not worth
That,
anything unless you
that's how they
unless you
keep.
own it. That's,
That's how they keep the. I want mainly black, but that's how they just keep like people in poverty
that's
down. They
how they
give them
keep them.
little.
Yeah,
They give them
living
little. They give
paycheck
them
to
little
paycheck.
things to be like, okay, maybe there's hope, but there's really no hope.
Living paycheck to
You
paycheck.
know?
And
Yeah.
like I tell people, like as far as being black, I feel like right neck and neck with us, Mexicans, they go through some terrible shit too, and it's foul, bro. It's literally foul. You got us too. We're sitting up here going through hell, bro, to even live in America. Hell.
Yeah.
I told somebody
Yeah.
too. This is off topic. How can think about this? How can somebody be illegal? How can somebody just think about someone being illegal as they say, even though that's the stupidest shit ever? Just think about it.
Yeah.
Think about somebody you know. Oh, I know somebody actually. They have to have a paper to prove that they're what? What are we proving?
Legal. Yeah. Yeah.
But
The whole system is fucked up, bro.
but there's a tricky part. When it comes to taking vacations and stuff, they could go to countries for not for free. You have to pay to go. You know, your vacate, right? There's no
Yeah.
wall. There's no blocking anything. They accept you guys in their country, right?
Yeah.
But you guys are trying to force them and keep them out. But you're going and expanding and building in their countries. Stupid.
I feel you, man. Why you say you guys? I feel attacked right now.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no, no,
playing.
no. People know what I'm getting at, and that's the thing. It's
No,
a
I
touchy.
know.
It's
I
a
know.
touchy. It's a touchy.
It really
subject.
is, bro.
But no one wants
So
to
I've
hear.
heard-
No one wants to hear that though. But it's the truth.
Yeah. I'm getting back to like the Constitution, the flag. I don't understand how people idolize these things. That, like, are you saying this country is 100% like there's nothing that needs to be changed? Because that's what I feel like people are telling us, that like how could we have these constitutions and stuff, and yes, like they provide us freedom and stuff, but you're telling me everything in there is 100% like foolproof?
We don't really have freedom.
No, I know you don't. I was gonna get to that. It's only freedom for certain people, and that's how it's made. Think about who made this shit. Like they're not looking for everybody's best interest, only a certain group of people. And so, like, I don't understand why we can't change stuff. Like I have this now. Like, what if we still live by the rules and stuff the cavemen did? Like, our society will collapse. So as we grow as a country in a world, why can't stuff change also? And yeah, everything is just disgusting right now. Like, it has been. We've seen it. People just decided to ignore it until
Like they say, liberty and justice for all, right?
Yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah,
I don't believe it.
I just want to let you know I'm 100% with you guys. 100%.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's not even. It's not about. It's just more so you understand that your people are the ones doing it. That's the thing.
Yes.
Not your actual
Yeah.
people, as far as like your race. You understand that they're doing stuff that they're not supposed to be doing and getting away with it.
100%.
You know, it's more
Just
so,
as a human, bro. Just as a human. You can't deny it.
You can
like
see it.
why? Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Like,
you can't be
I've always
focused.
believed in equality, and honestly, if we're taking it even further, not just being black, but being gay and
Yeah,
like everything.
get
You know
into
what I mean?
all of that.
Yeah.
Being look, I had to tell. Speaking on that topic of being gay or
Yeah.
LBGTQ, right?
Don't miss a letter, dog.
Isn't that it?
Yeah, I think Q plus. I think there's a plus now.
Okay, Q plus. Sorry if I
Yeah.
disrespected
It's all good, bro.
the what it stands for, but I'm with them too because I feel like
100%.
why should someone being gay bother you so much? It shouldn't. It's not your
Right.
business. I had to tell my client's wife 2 weeks ago that she said she has a family member who is gay. She doesn't like it, but she just basically deals with it. I said, but what does that have to do with you? Nothing.
Exactly, man.
It doesn't have anything to do with you. You're just mad because there's something you're not. Now,
Yeah.
how stupid is that? You're mad.
And a lot
You're
of
mad because that person is
a lot of it has to do with religion. And what I don't understand is like, because I grew up in church, right? I haven't been so much into it now, but they teach you not to judge growing up. But they counteract that by teaching gay marriage shouldn't be legal, gay marriage gross, disgusting. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense to me. Like that's not your job to judge. Like you're not supposed to look at it. You're supposed to just view them as a human and treat them how you'd want to be treated. So why can't they be free? Why can't they be equal
right.
to us?
Church is one of the places where you are taught how to judge. I mean, you know
Judge.
why?
Yep.
Because you judge. Like I said, I know somebody who is uh blood related, a pastor to me.
Yeah.
That man can get up on that podium and speak the truth into people, aka they say, right, and say how
Yeah.
good people supposed to do good and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
believing in the Lord and all this stuff, you know. But guess what he's doing when he
Yeah.
leaves the church house? Not nothing he's
Drinking.
talking about.
Yeah.
Nothing he's
Fact,
talking
bro.
about.
A lot of
It's
hypocrites.
hypocritical, and not everyone's like that. I'm
Yes.
not disrespecting everybody
No. No.
or
No.
anybody
Yeah.
realistically. I'm just pointing out what I've seen, and I've seen it
Yes.
a lot. You cannot sit up here and just say some stuff like that, man, and just not live by it. I feel like you're
Yeah.
selling yourself short if
100%.
you're over here telling somebody how to do things, and you're not applying that to your life, but you're telling them you are. You're lying. It's hypocritical.
Yeah.
Like I
Exactly.
said, I even told somebody when I told my mom one day, I said, if I want to talk to God, I feel like I could talk to God anywhere, anytime, basically. I don't have to go to
Yeah.
church. I
Exactly,
can,
bro.
and like I said, I don't. I will go to church again one day, and I know I will. But it's just more so like if I feel like talking to God, I know I could talk to God right now as we speak.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean just going in and being in front of 30 people and a pastor and
Giving them all your money.
yeah, that too. Tithes and offerings. A lot of these people are not using that tithes and offering money for the church. They're using it for their personal lives. People
Yeah.
just don't want to get into how deep it is. You got a lot of pastors who have been got rape charges, or they've been doing child molestation.
Bro, I know
All,
two
all of
personally.
that,
Like, I know two
all of that.
personally that have been
So
charged
I
with
don't want people to
rape.
feel like
Nasty.
they're the best people or whatever, because it's not even like that.
They're
It's
not.
not. Just understand that it's a lot
We're
of
not talking
shady
about
stuff.
everybody, by the way.
It's a lot of
We're not
shady
talking.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
No.
everybody who goes to church. I'm talking to just in general what I've seen, all my
Experiences.
experience. That's what I've
Yeah.
seen. Everywhere is not like that, and I understand that.
No.
But from what
Yeah.
I've seen, it just shook me, bro. I can't.
The, yeah. The way I look at it is, I believe in God, and we have our own relationship. Even though a lot of times, maybe, or especially lately, it hasn't been great because of things. But like, I have my own views, right? And that's what I'm gonna stick with. And I learn, and they grow, and that's how I feel about religion right now.
I feel like God is testing me right now. I love him. I believe in him. Obviously, I
Facts.
feel like he's testing me right now, and I'm gonna explain it because I feel like every time I get something, it's something
Yeah.
that'll happen. He's testing my strength because he wants to make me stronger.
Yeah.
I'd learned to not look at situations in a negative manner anymore and understand that they're happening for a reason. And I
Uh
take
huh.
pride in that. I take major pride in that, understanding that he's guiding me the right way. I done
Yeah.
came from nothing, and I done beat so much. Like
Yeah.
it's so much I could have gave up, like I said, and I didn't. I kept going, and I feel like even if when I'm going through something, I just always, like I said, I remind myself of where I come from. Literally, it's not bad. I just feel like it's a test right now, and that it's gonna be it's gonna be a big blessing for me. Coming soon. I can feel it and I can see it. I always visualize it.
Yeah, bro. Same.
That's what
I feel
it is.
something great's gonna happen. I feel like for you, like me looking at you, I honestly feel like you're gonna do great things though. And we've been going for an hour, so I'm probably gonna wrap this up. But I want to. Is there anything you want to ask me before I wrap this up?
Uh, not anything that could come to mind with that comes to
Particularly?
my mind. I pretty much
Uh,
touched on everything. We
yeah.
touched on everything. I mean, with the topics and stuff.
I feel like we did. All right. Well, I just want to let you know, bro. Like you, like with the realest dude I know. I respect the hell out of you, and keep doing what you're doing because you're gonna do good things.
Oh, same to you. I appreciate it. I mean, like I said, you gained my respect when you've been at my respect, but it's I seen how solid of a person you were when you didn't sell your soul, and you know what I'm talking about with the last
Uh,
situation. So
I do. I do.
it
All
it is what it
right.
is.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you go.
All right, man. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.